around their feet to keep out the cold while they stand in the bread line. At the thought, her hands grip the plush velvet seat beneath her. She no longer tries to calculate how many meals she could make from selling even the cheapest chair in the courtroom. The lawyer has been speaking loudly and at length about the amount of money at stake, hundreds of thousands of dollars to the mother who has had the most children in 10 years. But, the lawyer explains to the court, puffing out his chest and pacing as he speaks, very specific criteria have to be fulfilled. As if the people watching don't already know. As if the Stork Derby hasn't been in every newspaper in Toronto for months. And, the lawyer says, it is this court's task to ensure that the successful mother is a deserving, morally upright member of the community, that her representation of herself and her family is honest. He talks on, his cheeks reddening as he warms to his theme. Lily's thoughts begin to drift again, to the children back at home and what she can possibly give them to eat, to her breasts, aching and heavy with milk from missed feeds. There is a pause, and Lily becomes aware of the number of eyes fixed upon her, of the sniggers from the gallery. "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you," she says quickly, sitting up and trying to smile, to look appealing to the judge, to the people watching, to the reporters scribbling in their notebooks. Another titter from the gallery, and this time the lawyer smiles too, though he tries to hide the grin by stroking his mustache. "I'm sorry," she repeats more loudly, smoothing her thin cotton skirt. "Could you say that again?" The lawyer's smile widens. "Would you like me to word it differently so that you can understand?" More snickering from the gallery. "Yes, please." "I asked," the lawyer said, "what motivated you to come to Toronto? What made you leave Chatsworth and New Brunswick, your home? What made you leave your husband?" Lily scans the courtroom to catch May's eye, but May is staring at her own hands, her posture a mirror of Lily's, knotting and unknotting her fingers. And Lily wonders why May won't look at her, why she won't meet her eye and somehow communicate the right answer. She wonders how the lawyer knows to ask her about Chatsworth when the only person who knows about that time is May. High above, in the pallid sky, the sun disappears behind a cloud. The light in the courtroom dims. The golden dust motes vanish, as if something has snuffed them out. Part 1. How can you frighten a man whose hunger is not only in his own cramped stomach, but in the wretched bellies of his children? You can't scare him. He has known a fear beyond every other. John Steinbeck, The Grapes of Wrath. Chapter 1. Chatsworth, Canada, October 1926. The weather has been odd all autumn. Bright, cold days giving way to an open, star-stamped sky and the sensation of frigid air dropping from frozen space. Along the northern border of the small town of Chatsworth, the black surface of the Miramichi River roils. It's hard to pinpoint the moment when something starts. Hard to identify the exact instant when the scales tip, when the hammer begins to fall, when the blade starts to swing downwards. But later, when she thinks about it, Lily will remember the unseasonal ice that rimed the shores of the river for weeks. She'll recall the poor man whose thumb got jammed in the pulp mill machinery when it froze. She'll think of the animals that skulked in from the dense forest all around, moose and foxes, and even, it was rumored, a bear, creeping from the shelter of the trees to try to scrounge food from trash cans. When she looks back on this time, Lily will see all of these things as warnings, portents that everyone ignored. But for now, Lily is in the cold kitchen plucking a chicken they cannot afford. Her fingers are frozen, and she jiggles her legs to keep warm, trying to wrap her skirts around 8-year-old Mateo, playing silently with a train at her feet. Tony isn't yet back from the paper mill. He will have gone to a tavern, as he has done nearly every night since the mill began laying people off. It is often Tony's friends who have been let go, and all the men are jumpy and angry, worried that they'll be next. When Tony staggers in, smelling of whiskey and other women, Lily often pretends to be asleep. But he'll poke her awake with his finger or his foot.